Riding on hoverboards, wiping out motherboards, stop spitting fire.
At the start of season 2, before I knew anything, the first character that I played against was Asuka, and I seen what a difference that character was. As more time went on, we found out that she was one of the strongest characters in all of season 2. When these characters get buffed, the character loyalist benefits the most. King Ray Jr. also is a Tekken World Tour finalist, and his Asuka's going crazy. What I will say about Fergus as well is that I know he said the game sucks and the characters are so effective to where it's kind of boring. You kind of feel like a sense of meaningless. Fergus says, I've been playing Asuka since Tekken 6 competitively and loved her before that. So it's really amazing treat to see her be meta character and top tier for the first time. This was the tweet that I made about Asuka. Big hands, wide torso, no neck having, irrelevant to story, low tier every game. A lot of these are still true, but one of them is most certainly not. When I started playing more professionally in Tekken 7, sponsors and orgs, I occasionally picked other characters such as Katarina, Lily, and Julia to cover some of her bad matchups due to the nature of her playstyle with lopsided strengths. She was prone to some really bad matchups, so it felt necessary as it was difficult to solo Asuka tournament runs. I also remember in Tekken 7 there was this push to make this character stronger. At the end of Tekken 7 there was a lot of people who were saying buff Heihachi lows, buff Asuka lows. It's because those characters just it was such a bad part of their gameplay, and the developers did some of it. If you had to explain season 2 Asuka and why she works to someone who doesn't play her, what would be the key points you would mention? So Fergus says the biggest strength of season 2 Asuka is that she has a lot of chip damage, plus frames, safety and launchers, high damage output, strong Oki, and her option coverage with her new move up forward 1+2, especially with the install, allows her to control the situation a lot easier in terms of tracking. One thing, my biggest frustration with Asuka is, yeah, the Oki, but really it's the combo damage. The wall tornado made it to where not necessarily get up slower, but the person just has more of an advantage standing over you. And some of these moves that you're supposed to be able to defeat is kind of undefeatable. I don't know how they can fix that, because in my opinion, it's a universal thing where every character has this really strong wall Loki, and I think it's something that they gotta fix with the wall some way, somehow. Let's keep going. What are some of Asuka's changes you would like to see? Fergus says, along with the rest of the roster, I would like her to receive nerfs to strength, make her go back to being more defensive, read-oriented character that she was originally by toning down offensive tools and easy option coverage. I grew up with Asuka having aforementioned playstyle, so the sudden change in Tekken 8 doesn't sit well with me. It can feel very unsatisfying. So that's the tweet there that I was looking for. He was just talking about Asuka feeling unsatisfying. And that's the same exact thing that I felt in season 1, and I kind of feel in season 2. Season 2 characters are a little bit more stronger than Yoshimitsu, some of them, so it's sometimes I am fighting uphill, but in the season 1 it was the first time ever where I was playing the top dog character, and I was playing a character that everyone couldn't stop. It's weird. I really don't want that type of power. I really don't want that no one can stop me. I am used to playing Tekken as the underdog in a weird way. I feel a lot of people have this opinion of their character as well. The only buff or bug I want is her forward 2 to work consistently as a whiff punish. So that's the thing as well, right? When people usually talk about what they want to be buffed or what they want to change, it's usually some kind of bug fix, right? Every character has something like that. You've been playing against and constantly beating many characters who were considered unfavorable for Asuka. Who would you say is her worst matchup nowadays? Fergus says in season 2 her bad matchup became less problematic, so there's nothing worse than a 4-6 for her. What is that? I do think that currently her worst matchup are the Bears, as she has poor punishes and they abuse stuff. Doesn't really gain anything extra on them, and the main mix-up low down for 1+2 doesn't exist pretty much due to the legs being behind. Brian, Claudio, Zafina, Alyssa, Lily, King, and Clive are also issues for her as well. So some of these characters are stronger or on her same level, so that makes sense. What's your read on Tekken 8's current balance trajectory? Do you think they course corrected enough since season 2 launch? Fergus says, personally I would rather that heat and installs just did not exist. Hopefully the next game they can go back to more traditional Tekken that we saw in Tekken 7 and prior. At the moment the game is weirdly balanced in the sense that everyone is extremely strong, and I think it only has 2 tiers, which is S plus and S. Some small gaps between characters, but they could be problematic in itself, as pretty much everyone is very obnoxious to play against. This is why I don't understand when people attack other characters, because every character falls in 2 categories. If you really want to be a little crybaby, okay, 3. It's S plus, S, an A+. Even the worst character in the game right now, you put them in Tekken 7 and they're the best. They're on a level of like, you know, it's wild how powerful these characters are. Yet the whole player base still goes around crying about other characters. But then also what I will say about this as well is that on the topic of heat and installs not existing, some installs did exist in Tekken 7. Brian had the Wahoo, Claudio always had the Starburst. I just think that they need to be toned down a little bit. And I really think they should stay. I like the idea of an install, something you do a signature move and you get this stack and then boom, you can let the stack rock. I love that. That's a cool idea. That's a very, very cool idea. It's just the way that Tekken does it is to where it's so broken. Like Ultra Instinct. Ultra Instinct is enhanced frames, enhanced damage, takes away gray health. They add so much on top of it to where you're forced to hate it. That's the thing that I don't like. Now, as for heat, the general concept I'm not against. Most people don't even use heat anyways. Go watch a blue rank player play and then see if they use heat properly, right? So that's number one. Number two, a reason why I think heat should go is because it's probably adding more balance than they expected. Example that I use is Yoshimitsu's flash. When they go to balance the flash, they have to balance it 3 times. A lot of these other moves, when they go to balance it, they have to balance it 2 times. As a heat activator, they have to balance it in heat. They have to balance it out of heat, like when you have no heat. They got to balance these moves so much just because the heat is adding multiple different elements to the characters. And I don't get why they would have done that. Yes, Yoshimitsu has like 300 moves in this game. He has the biggest move list in the game. But if you think about how he has heat enhanced attacks, he really has like 600. That's another reason why I think balancing is probably so long and tiresome. Multiple different versions of the same thing. I don't know. Let's keep reading. Fergus said season 2 was brutal, completely awful. They did make some good changes since then, and definitely mechanic wise, it's much better than season 1. And season 1 had absurd things such as power crush heat engagers, more chip damage, 17 plus heat engaged dashes, but that's been massively improved now. We just need to reduce the bloat and tone the overall character power level down further. I like how people are talking about bloat. Removing moves is what I imply that to mean, because FDX said a very similar thing and I heard other people say it as well. It's weird that people would throw this idea out, but it just shows you how far Tekken has moved in the wrong direction. The next question, what's your opinion on Mami Zoe? People have been split. Some call her the best release yet, while others are underwhelmed by the lack of Tekken 8ism. Where do you stand? I think Marizu is really good. Yeah, she kind of has these abilities and whatnot, but really her abilities aren't, to my understanding, to my experience, they aren't broken like Clive, Victor, even Yoshi, even Anna. Like her abilities feel very grounded. Well, as a waifu player, I'm delighted with Marizu. However, people saying she stray away from Tekken 8's direction as a healthier mix-ups are mistaken. I think this only applies to her Heat Smash, where she has counterplay and more guesswork. However, her full crouch mix-up is incredibly strong, and as her MOR stance, which has chunky hell sweep with an extension in Heat, can wall splat. I think she's actually incredibly strong and a potential top 10, top 15 character. She definitely plays well. It's just not from Heat Smash. This is the thing, right? Everyone was saying that she's a really weak character, but now we're starting to see that people are saying she's actually strong. And the same thing about Armor King. Armor King is actually strong. And I was saying that even Fakaram, because why is Mogod playing Fakaram? Pulls out that Fakaram, people die. Like, he beat Knee with his pocket Fakaram. And it's not that people don't know that he has a pocket Fakaram. He's been playing a pocket Fakaram for like since the character release. So it's not that these DLC characters are weak. It's just that they are not game breaking, right? So people are just kind of riding them off, but they do have some serious power behind them. And if you were to nerf, you know, the top tiers, I think those characters will become more of a threat. I'm not just a tournament player. I'm also a content creator. So I have to extend my gratitude to everyone who's been following and supporting my platforms, especially on Twitch. You're all amazing.